morning. Sorry about looking a little rough, but time of that. Just that time. Anyway, it's a beautiful spring. We got blossoms everywhere, gold everywhere. Getting set up for another trip to Merced. Got invited by Dean again. He's going to try out his new potato pan, he calls, or potato, or whatever it's called. I was out here last night finding some gold, cleaning all the materials that I have. That's all left over. And finding gold. So I got this thing set up real slow to feed these dream mat. Yesterday I pulled it out after a few scoops. Oops, excuse me. And found a lot. It was enough to get me all stirred up crazy about getting back over to Bryceburg. And it's surrounding camp areas and old mines. Yeah, because they got some old mines over there. Anyway, that's what we were doing. I was getting ready to go back over there. I found 2 grams in 2 days that I was over there. It was like nice. So I got this thing set up to go all together as a long tom. I'm gonna call it a long tom, because we're gonna hook up the way it's like that, the way it's set up. Got the high banker with my old dredge sluice to the Keen 52A it's called, but I've modified it. I put the indicator mat. I changed the expanded metal into 3/4 inch, or ½ inch. It looks like ½ inch, but it's 1/4 inch. And we kept the griffles on it. It does a great job. But we have a miner's moss and then an underlayment of rubber matting, but it's not like the deep V-groove mats. It's a little different configuration. It's kind of got like a little platform or a plateau, and then it's got tiny small grooves, V-grooves in between. Like each section is probably ½ inch, so it'll be a ½ inch of a plateau, and then it'll drop down into a bunch of little V valleys, another plateau, and you know, to get that motion going. And that's the motion we're looking for. I don't know if you guys can see that action on that. Let's check it out. Yeah, that stuff's stirring around in there. Once you see that stuff stop stirring around, then it's got to go. You got to clean it out. Just like that there. If it stops stirring around and that material's not moving, then she's already hard packed. And you're not going to get very much to getting stuck there. But we also have all the openings from the expanded metal, and plus the dream mat. There was a big old piece of gold stuck. Oh, it's still there. Yeah, that little fat buck is going to come in he's going to go in my collection. But I shouldn't see too much gold in this stuff, but I was running it too fast. I was being impatient, and I had a lot of my tailings showing up with gold. And that's no good. Oh, I gotta take this out of here. This is the clean out. Yeah, sorry. This is everything I have to run. That was stuff that I cleaned out of all these buckets. Took all the big granules out of it, the big sand. We're gonna run that too, but I'm gonna run it after I run the black sand. So let's give it a couple of scoops And we call it good. I still got to have some breakfast. Nice little scoop like that. That big old chisel right there is just to hold that miner's moss that I'm using as a, you know, it's just a matting that stops the water from making so many bubbles. I mean, I can take it off, but I didn't want it to move while I was inside. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. So, yeah, the high banker starts moving everything, nice and sweet. And I have just a carpet underneath there that came with it from the manufacturer, and it's got an aluminum set of expanded metal, 1/4 inch. And then this dream mat. This little dream mat right here is their mini 16-inch backpack sluice, I guess they call it. But I got it running over the V-mat here. Just kind of using it as an indicator if I'm running too fast or anything else, and I'm just letting it go into a bucket so I can collect it, just in case I have a doubt. And right now I have none. Dana always says, don't doubt your equipment. Don't doubt your equipment. And it's hard not to, but you see this stuff working and stuff, you know, and gold is very heavy. It's 19 times heavier than water. And it drops fast. So if it's going through there, you'd figure it's just going to drop straight down. But you also have the micro gold and flat pieces. Flat pieces tend to have a little bit tendency to travel longer until they get rolled up and stuck somewhere. But as long as that stuff is moving around like that, it's separating the lights from the heavies, and the heavies will fall down and stay put, and the rest of it will just keep tossing and turning until it gets pushed out. You start noticing how this stuff works, and you try to mimic Mother Nature's riverbed with all its cracks and crannies and boulders and stuff. And you have a horizontal vortex here laying down laterally, I guess you would say, and then you have the V-mat that works in a vortex that's vertically. So you have like a little tornado action going on in there. And I kind of like this variable mat here because it's got the tiny, small, micro shit in the front. Then you got the mediocre, and then you got the large over here in the back. But rocks get stuck in there, little pebbles get stuck in there, and it creates a different kind of the vortex is different, and I guess I gotta use the right terms. I'm not sure about how it's said, but it's the way the water acts in the currents and stuff. And he's got a little pit down in there. Everything gets stuck in there. We'll see here. So this looks a little slow. I mean, it is feeding it. I'd like it to go a little faster, but that's what happened to me last time, and I lost gold. So I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and get some breakfast, get some clothes on. Trash man. Trash man's here. I made it just in time. Anyway, let's see. Yeah. See you later, buddy. Miramonte sanitation. There's no ashes in there, it's just dirt. All right, no complaints. See you later, Buck. Later. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Yeah, hopefully this thing cleans out. I'm gonna get some breakfast. check out the blue bowl. And there shouldn't be very much gold in this. I am finding it, that's why I'm doing it. But they're just scragglers. Let's see, where you at? There you are. Just like that. You know, there shouldn't be, but I just ran it too fast. And I'm finding it again, so here we are. Taking care of business. Every day. Take care. Where's my coffee at? See? Still gotta wake up. Oh, I love this though. Ice scoop. The thing works amazing. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go. I don't take all these buckets, no. I just take that in there because my classifier, I made a classifier a while back and it fits it perfectly. So where are you at? Now I got to make one for the for a regular sized bucket. I think I'm just going to make it out of another bucket. That fits perfect. So that's what comes out. Everything's nice and tight. It's nice and deep. She's about like 3.5, 4 inches deep. So I might just get a bucket like that. Cut the sumbitch off about that. And then run some wire on it, some mesh or screen. And probably cut another strip and sandwich it between and screw it together so it'll stay stable. And you know, just use it inside of another bucket like they're intended to, like that. But it will have a screen at the bottom. All right, so we can give her another couple scoops. I don't want this to run too fast. And we should be good. Ooh. Let this stuff run. Yeah. Yeah, those things are pretty full. We'll let that run. We'll let that run like that. See that? That's how I lost it last time, but I didn't have this here next to it. You jam pack those things full and it doesn't have anywhere to touch the bottom of the bed. So it doesn't settle. It stays in the black sand and it just floats along with the black sand because it moves it as far as they're more or less the same weight. They weigh the same. So black sand, it just hides it. That's all. So as long as it has an area with expanded metal in front of it, like that, like so, then you'll catch it. You'll catch the gold. But if you're packed all the way across that bed between riffle to riffle, it's just gonna float over just like that. See, if you look at it, that stuff's just floating over to the next one. But I have confidence in it because of the fact that it has to go from one cascade area to another. And it will, between there and there, between top to the bottom, it should fall out and get captured. Especially here, it should just fall out. And it is not going to get past the dream mat. Because if it is, it would show up here in the indicator mat. And I have no shiny in there yet. I don't want to see anything in there. If I do, then I know I'm running too fast. Meaning either the water's too fast or I'm feeding it too fast. So I'm overwhelming the process, is what I'm saying. just like I get overwhelmed. Anyway, everybody handles their shit different, right? Get back to you. I gotta get some breakfast.